Hello and welcome, and this is the astrological forecast for Scorpio sun signs and Scorpio rising for 2023. Quite a big year for Scorpios. A lot to get through, so let's get started. First of all, let's talk about Uranus because that's really important. So Uranus is in Taurus and remains in Taurus in 2023, which means it's traveling through your seventh house, which is the house of relationships and other people. And it's been there since 2018. And that means that there's been disruption, unpredictability, and a sense of awakening in values to do with other people coming into your life over the last 3-4 years. And therefore, that's really kind of been a major kind of pinpoint. Now, this is going to come to a head in some ways on the 5th of May when we've got a lunar eclipse at 15 degrees in Taurus. So it's right in the middle of your seventh house. And it is on the astrological degree of Beltane. So it really is a very, very, very significant kind of moment that of closure in some ways to do with relationships in some form or how you've been dealing with other people. And the next one that you have another lunar eclipse. That's at 5 degrees in Scorpio on 28th of October as well. So the eclipses are still, showing up and giving you an insight in how to react to other people. And that's a very strong dynamic. Okay, let's move on to Saturn, because Saturn on the 7th of March moves into your fifth house. This is the house of creativity, the individual, the house of merriment, as William Lilly would say. And this really signals an opportunity for you to focus and put self-discipline on creative endeavors, and also to individualize yourself and to find, in a way, your unique gifts, but in a way that's got structure to it, that is going to bring out something tangible in the future. Remember, Saturn's going to be transiting through that fifth house for 2.5 year period, so you've got to get used to it, but it does put structure and discipline on creative and self-expressive aspects of your personality. We've got Jupiter in the sixth house from basically the start of the year until the 16th of May. That is the house of service to others. That is the house of health. What I would say is that with Jupiter transiting in your sixth house, you've just got to be kind of really aware of health matters, and not to get carried away. You might feel fantastic and you think, well, yeah, I feel great. I don't need to do any exercise or look at diets. Well, that's where the tricky part of Jupiter comes in. It's the over-optimism, over-promising. So just be careful, aware of that. The other side of it, of course, is service to others. And the sixth house is to do with the more mundane aspects, daily routines. And there might be expansion that comes into that, or certainly expansion through your co-workers, and the people that you see on a general day-to-day basis. They might be quite philosophical. You might learn new aspects of your personality through Jupiter transit in that house. Then it moves in from the 16th of May, it moves into your seventh house, which is again relationship house. This is a real focus for you Scorpios for the year. So it brings in definitely a drum roll and a fanfare into your relationships. Jupiter takes 12 years to go around the whole of the zodiac. So the last time you experienced this would be in 2011, where Jupiter went into your seventh house. So look about what happened then to see maybe some of the themes that will come out. It usually means that other people come into your life that bring in a new sense of values, morals, ethics, but also opportunities for you to grow and for you to travel, either physically or through the mind, or look at life in a very, very different way. And that, for that second half of the year, is going to be very powerful. Bearing in mind that you do have Uranus still traveling in that house. So, them two are kind of sparring with each other throughout 2023. Your traditional ruler is Mars. Mars is going to be in Scorpio from the 12th of October to the 23rd of November. So that will give strength, purpose for you, particularly if you're in a Mars perfected year. Pluto is going to move into your fourth house very, very briefly at the end of March until about June 11th. And therefore, that's the place of home, family, sanctuary, and where you get your inner strength from. So, Pluto's just going to give you a little nudge there at that time to say, hey, I'm going to be back here in January 2024, and I'm going to be staying here for 20 years. So you've got a new tenant in the fourth house coming up. So this is just a sort of a fleeting visit for Pluto. But obviously, it might mean that you are looking at historical, ancestral lineage much more, or looking back at your history of your family trees. All that is going to come through quite significantly with Pluto going through the house. So it's quite a powerful, subtle energy, and it's also about facing one's fears as well, and whether you've got power or someone else has got power. So that is really going to sort of shake the foundations. I think for Scorpios, as long as they remain quite open-minded to what's going on, I think they'll be all right. I think it's other people that make life unpredictable for them. That's that Uranus factor, and that's what they have to kind of get used to, and also be reminded of, that they can't control other people, that they must kind of let them do their own thing. And if they get that right, then it's going to be quite an enlightening year, particularly with a Jupiter factor going into the seventh house. The seventh house is an angular house. It's a busy house, like the fourth, like the first, like the 10th. And any planets that go through there means that there's a lot of external activity in one's life. And so you can be sure that your year ahead is going to be very active for Scorpios and Scorpio rising. Anyway, if you like the video, press the like button. And if you want to be a subscriber, then press the subscribe button. But thank you very much for watching.